Hello guys, TavHD here and welcome back to another video. And I've managed to do something that I've done once before and hopefully it plays out a little bit better this time. I've bought another cheap Mac Pro. This one was only £20. It was in the bundle with that white iMac, maybe £25, something like that, but whatever. It was very cheap. I know nothing about this machine. I don't know if it works. And yeah, that's what we're going to try and find out today. It's never filling me full of hope when the flap is stuck open and also when there's a dent on the front of it. My other Mac Pro, which just so happens to be completely deceased, also has one of its flaps stuck down and also has a massive dent in the front of it. So let's hope this one plays out a bit better. But I'm not too hopeful, but yeah, let's just see what happens. So I know nothing about this one, don't know the specs at all. I think it might be a 3,1 like my other one, but I guess we're going to find out. And I know it's a 3,1, well, I know it's one of the earlier ones, not a 5,1, because it has a FireWire 800 as well as a 400 on the front. The later ones had two FireWire 800. So we've got an 800, a 400, two USB 2s, audio out, and our power button. We of course have our two optical drive bays. There's nothing in the second one, but there is something in the first one, it feels like. So let's turn this around. Of course, just standard Mac Pro, always full of scuffs, as they always are. Also, the back foot's a bit wonky, as they always are, but that is okay. Of course, power input, lovely dent in it there. There we can see our graphics card. Or maybe that's not a graphics card. It has some sort of device in that PCI slot, but it doesn't look big enough to be a graphics card. So that's something we'll investigate. It's got two HDMIs on it, and whatever that weird connector is, I don't actually know. Yeah, not sure to be honest. Looking down at the rest of the ports, hopefully you can see that okay. 3 USB 2s, FireWire 400 800, optical audio in and out, normal in and out, 2 Ethernets, and a lot of dust on the bottom foot. And we do also have the specs down there. Let's get a close-up of that to see if that will enlighten us as to what this actually is. Okay, so this is a 2.8 GHz 8-core. So that is probably a 3,1 I would have thought. Two 1GB sticks of RAM, 320GB hard drive and the 2600 XT graphics card. Don't think that graphics card's in there because that doesn't look big enough to be a graphics card in there, if you can see. So I don't know what that is. Will it have any RAM in it? Who knows? Let's take the door off and find out. Here we are, let's undo the flap. There we are. Moment of truth, is there anything in here? Looks like there's something in there. As always, these have gone terribly discoloured and dirty. PCI slot there, if you want it. And first thing I see, we don't even have the RAM trays. I was hoping if this was a 3,1, it would have the RAM trays if nothing else, because I'm sure it's the risers that are broken with my other one. So I wanted to swap them round, then see if my other one would boot, but this literally has none in it, so that's kind of scuppered my plans. Is there any drives in here? None in the first one, none in the second one, none in the third, none in the fourth. Isn't that brilliant? Although we do have that weird PCI card by the looks of it, so I'm going to take that out. It's the only thing in there. Can't really see what it is while the machine stood up, so give me a minute to just take that out. Very interesting. It says Blackmagic Design at the top. And it says on the back on this sticker, Intensity Pro. Now what on earth is a Blackmagic Intensity Pro? I've got no idea. Let's get Googling. I think this is pretty much the exact same thing I've found on eBay. It looks like it's a capture card. That's really quite curious that there's a Blackmagic capture card in this thing. 65 quid for this. I've noticed mine's got a bit of corrosion on one of the connectors, but it should still be okay, I would have thought. Yeah, a capture card. This machine must have been used at some point for something kind of professional, for a piece of black magic equipment to have ended up in here. This would have been very expensive when it was new, I would have thought. And if this does 1080p like the one on the listing said, this could actually be quite helpful if it works. I don't know what machines I could use it in. I'm guessing any with a PCIe slot, but yeah, it's really interesting. We'll have to try and test this at some point in some machine if I can get a machine to work, but yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so I've just put it back in. I've just put it in any random slot. I think it was in the one below before, but that shouldn't really matter. But here's a closer look at the machine. As you can see, no risers in there at all for the RAM. No graphics card, you can see up there. There's no drives in it either, and here's just a closer look at the machine if you are interested. So I think what I'm going to do now is get my completely buggered Mac Pro out, which just so happens to be under my desk quite conveniently. I'll put the RAM cards out of that in this one as well as the graphics card, which I don't think is going to make this one boot, because I'm pretty sure the problems with mine is the graphics card and the RAM cards, but I'm guessing that can maybe help diagnose something. So yeah, let me go get those bits, put them in here, then we'll see if this thing does anything. I'm pretty doubtful, but let's see anyway. Alright, I've put my probably broken RAM risers in there. Don't know how much RAM's in it, something like 12 gigs or something, I really can't remember. We've got the graphics card out of the other Mac Pro in here. I think it's a 2600 XT, haven't got a clue though, to be honest. Not going to bother plugging in a monitor or anything. Let's just try a single power cable to the wall, plug that in and just see what happens. If it does that funny business where it just spins up the fans, then it's doing the same thing as my other one, and we haven't solved anything because it's probably those that are broken. But yeah, let's just give it a go for a bit of fun, shall we? Alright, I genuinely expect this to set on fire, but let's see. I've not turned it on at the wall yet, so let's do that. My other one randomly turns itself on as soon as it's plugged in, so this one's not doing that, so that is somehow an improvement. But let's just press the power button. I've also put the side panel on just in case that makes it happy, but let's see if this does anything. I wasn't expecting that. No flashing light, no fast fans. This seems somewhat satisfied with life. Yeah, it's just sitting here quite happy. That's very odd. Let's turn it off. Gone straight off because it knows there's no boot drive. Let's try that again. Another bong. Wow. This is behaving a lot better than my other one. So maybe it's the actual board on the other one that's unhappy and not everything else connected to it. This seems quite happy. Granted, I can't see what's going on, but I'd expect it to just be showing a flashing question mark folder at this point. So let's try and plug this into a monitor to see what's going on. I think that is the next thing to do. Let's see if this does anything. I'm expecting a blinking folder, if it's capable of such things. It's making a weird squeaky noise now, which I think is a... oh wow. Yes, look at that. We have a question mark. Usually people dread seeing this because it means the hard drive's dead, but this is good for me. I'm so impressed, but then again I did have the other one working like once or twice, and I did manage to get it to boot off a drive before it then went stupid and wouldn't work at all. So maybe this will do the same thing, but it looks like this might work. So I'm not going to do anything else with this today in this video because I'm secretly confident that this is working. So there will be a part 2 to this where we'll see if we can get it to boot to a drive and then see how it behaves after that. I'm quite confident that this is going to work, but at the same time I don't want to come across too confidently and make myself look like an idiot when it doesn't work. But yeah, hopefully this works, because I've always wanted to have a Mac Pro and now I've got two, and hopefully this will be the one that works. And considering this was what, 25 quid if we half the 50 I paid for both machines, seems pretty good to me. It's not in the best cosmetic shape, but still, if it works, it works. I can't complain. And we can, of course, if we get it to boot, we can check the specs to see if it is a 3.1 8 core like it says it is. So yeah, that's all something to look forward to in a future video. So thank you for watching this one. Hopefully it was interesting in some way. And I'll see you in the next one, where hopefully this Mac Pro will live. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you then. Goodbye.